I mentioned in one of my recent book hauls that I received a copy of First Frost by Sarah Addison Allen, and that I wasn't sure when I'd be able to read it because I didn't realize that it was a sequel. This is actually the follow-up to Garden Spells, which is a very popular book by Sarah and was her first. And I haven't read that yet, but I do want to, and I don't want it to be spoiled. I've decided to put off reading this one for a little while, but because a lot of you were very excited about the fact that there was a new Sarah Addison Allen book coming out, and that it was a follow-up to Garden Spells, I said that I would give you guys a little excerpt of it. So here we go. This is right from the very beginning of First Frost, which comes out in just a few days. So if you are a Sarah Addison Allen fan, you can get your hands on it very soon. All of the info for the book is below, including the synopsis, and I don't think there's much more you need to know, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. Chapter 1. Bay Waverley Hopkins raced down Penland Street, her backpack bouncing and her dark hair flying behind her like blackbirds. The neighborhood homeowners always knew when she ran by, because they suddenly felt the desire to organize their sock drawers and finally replace those burned-out light bulbs they'd been meaning to. We need to set things in order, they all thought, as Bay ran down the street every afternoon after school. But as soon as she passed, their thoughts quickly drifted back to where they'd been before. What was for dinner? Why was a husband so moody lately? Could a load of laundry wait another day? Bay sped up as she approached the Waverley house. It was a rambling old Queen Anne with a wraparound porch and, Bay's favorite thing about it, a single lovely turret. It had been the first house built in the neighborhood in the late 1800s, before even Orion College was founded in town, back when Bascom, North Carolina, had been nothing more than a muddy rest stop for people traveling through to the western mountains. The surrounding houses on the street had later tried to imitate the Waverley house in architecture, but nothing could ever compare. At least not to Bay. Instead of taking the steps from the sidewalk to the house, Bay ran up the steep lawn, sliding on the wet grass. Last night it had rained in sheets as strong winds had finally blown autumn into Bascom, like the sharp sweep of a broom. There was a discernible chill in the air now, and wet leaves were everywhere, in yards, on the sidewalks, in the street, stuck on cars. It looked like the world was covered in a cobbler crust of brown sugar and cinnamon. Bay hung her backpack on one of the bare branches of the tulip tree in the front yard, and it was still swinging as she took the front porch steps 2 at a time and opened the door. The outside world might have finally turned into autumn, but inside the Waverley house it still smelled of summer. It was lemon verbena day, so the house was filled with a sweet tart scent that conjured images of picnic blankets and white clouds shaped like true love hearts. Maybe it was Bay's imagination, but the house always seemed to preen a little when she entered. The dim windows shining a little brighter, the quilts straightening themselves on the backs of couches. Bay's mother said that Bay loved this place too much, that she was a lot like her great-grandmother Mary that way. Bay had never met her great-grandmother Mary, but all the same, she knew that her mother wasn't giving her a compliment. Her mother had never truly felt at home growing up here. So that is a little snippet of First Frost by Sarah Addison Allen, which, as I said, will be out in just a few days. If you have read Garden Spells or are a huge fan of Sarah Addison Allen, give me the push in the comments to start reading these books, because I do have other books by her, and I've been wanting to read her for a long time. And reading this little snippet and kind of skimming through a few pages ahead is making me really want to abandon my plan of waiting to read Garden Spells and just dive right into this. But I want to see how the magic is built, so I don't want to deprive myself of that, but at the same time, I kind of feel like this is exactly what I need right now. Just that whimsy and that magic and that sweet tart lightness to it. It's kind of what I'm craving. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will be back on Wednesday with a brand new video, so make sure to stop back by then. That is all for now. As always, thanks for watching, and happy reading!